Kakbhushundi noticed how the attitude of his audience, including that of the noble Garuda, had become one of ever-increasing reverence and devotion. He felt happy to see how powerful the effect of the story was on the listener. Then, mentally invoking Sri Ram, he began his story. The aged vulture Sampati saw that his Guru's words had proved true. He was very happy to be able to do the last seva requested of him by his Guru, and that was to tell the monkeys where Sita was. Sampati claimed that he could see Lanka across the sea, where the fearless Ravan resided. In that city, he saw a grove of Ashoka trees, and beneath one of the trees sat a grieving woman who was Sita. Vultures, as you know, have very keen eyesight and can see far into the distance. Sampati declared that one of the monkeys would now have to cross over and do Sri Ram's work. Such a person, he said, needed to be 1. Physically strong. 2. He needed to be wise to overcome obstacles en route and to handle the enemy on the other side. 3. He needed to have strong faith to keep in mind that if Bhagwan had given him a task to do, Bhagwan himself would accomplish it through him. Problems only manifested when an individual lost faith. And the 4th point was that such a person also needed perseverance to keep going until he fulfilled all that he had set out to do. Thus, anyone with the 4 qualities of physical strength, sound intelligence, faith, and perseverance would be the one who would cross the sea and return. Sampati urged the monkeys to look at him and take heart. Thanks to Sri Ram's grace, he had grown new wings before their very eyes. Sita Devi's whereabouts were now known, but no one had actually seen her. Besides, it was equally important for Sita to know that Ram had sent someone to search for her. The monkeys were most amazed at Sampati's transformation, but of course, they had not understood everything that he said about the qualities required for success on such a mission. They had only heard that physical strength was necessary. And thereafter, Angad started asking everyone how much strength they had. Every monkey said what he could do and could not do. One said that he could only cover 10 miles. Another claimed that he could do 11 miles, and so on. No one had the requisite strength. Angad claimed that he could go across to Lanka, but he was not sure about being able to return. Kakbhushundi then asked a question of his audience. Do you know why Angad felt that he could cross over but was unsure of being able to come back? The birds waited with bated breath. Because he was speaking only from the point of view of his physical ability. What he lacked was total faith. He was not completely convinced that Sri Ram was Bhagwan and that this was Bhagwan's mission. Also, he continued to harbor some ill will towards Sri Ram's devotee Sugriv. Remember, Angad's father Vali had been killed by Sri Ram while fighting Sugriv. So it was Angad's lack of faith that was his real problem. Without faith, one always falls short of one's full potential. Jambavan, in any case, did not want Angad to go first because he was the leader of his force and he needed to be around. Then Jambavan noticed that Hanuman was completely silent. He had not said a word all this while. So Jambavan reminded Hanuman of his great power. For Hanuman was the son of Vayu Devta, the wind god. His might was like that of the wind. Not only was he strong, but he was also very wise. He knew what to do in any given situation. Despite all this praise, Hanuman remained silent. Then Jambavan said, "O Hanuman, you have been born for the sole purpose of accomplishing Sri Ram's work. The Devtas gave you special powers when you were little. And now, when the time to serve Sri Ram has arrived, why do you just sit there like that?" The moment Hanuman heard that he was born to serve Sri Ram, he sat up. Suddenly he felt that his life had meaning and purpose, and he became huge as a mountain. His body shimmered like gold. Despite being a monkey, he roared like a lion. Crossing the sea, he thundered, was mere child's play for him. "You see," said Kakbhushundi, "it is only when Hanuman began to serve Sri Ram that his power manifested. Jatayu too got his strength only from serving Ram. When an individual dedicates himself or herself to the service of some very lofty cause, phenomenal inner strength comes. Jambavan told Hanuman that he had to go to Lanka, meet Sita Devi, reassure her, give her Ram's ring and message, and bring back a message from her. Ram would do the rest. "But how could Hanuman go? Could he fly?" asked a little Maina. "Monkeys generally do not fly," said Kakbhushundi. "But remember, these are not ordinary monkeys. They are divine incarnations, and divine incarnations have powers that others do not. They specifically take birth to play a role in Bhagwan's Leela. What is important for us is to learn something from the Leela. Wondering about its feasibility only restricts us to the realm of logic, and logic has its limitations. It keeps us bound to the mundane and the realm of the known. The transcendental is way beyond all this." But now it was growing dark, and Kakbhushundi brought the story session to an end. The birds bowed down and then flew off. It was so good to know that another story would always follow the next day.